How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 103 of our West Ham United career mode, and this is going to be massive. 3 games in this episode. We're going to start banging through the season. You can see, taking a look at the calendar, we'll start off with Crystal Palace, and we get some news. Francisco Rodriguez and Jordan Ibe, a couple of our young, talented wingers, will be out for a little bit of time, but thankfully, well, I guess I shouldn't say thankfully, because we're out of the Cups, we're out of the FA Cup, we're out of the Champions League, we basically have 1 game a week for the rest of the season. So besides injuries and maybe loss of form and what have you, we can pretty much play whatever lineup we want. We've gotten $4 million for losing in the round of 16 in the Champions League and making it that far. So that's a nice little added bonus. Hopefully we'll get to keep that around for the for the next season, because we'll see what it makes the transfer budget go to. But we can see that we have then lost Winston Reid to a minor injury, and we've also gotten an offer from Brazil prior to this Crystal Palace game to manage their international team. But we'll have to think about it. I think really I just would probably just say no to everything except for maybe the England job at this moment in time, because really we want to focus on this West Ham career mode. We're trying to get as far as we can before FIFA 16, and we're finishing up season 3 here. If we can get into season 5, even maybe God forbid a season 6, that would be unbelievable, just to see how some of these players get on and if we can really make some progression, because right now we are dominant in the league right now. We're doing fantastically. You can see we're 6 points clear of Arsenal, though Man City I think have 2 or 3 games in hand, so they could get as near as I think 2 or 3 points away from us. So if they do play well, they can make that comeback. But this looks like it might be our year to win the league, and next year could it be the Champions League? Obviously it'll be tough. We want to get past the round of 16. That's pretty much the way we want to set it out, but hopefully we just don't draw Barcelona. That's really what happened to us this year. We drew Barcelona in the round of 16, and it really was our downfall because Lionel Messi is God. But we come forward to Crystal Palace here in the 8th minute. Really early start for Connor Wickham here. We're actually playing Wickham, Dybala, and Sturridge up front. So a little bit of a weird triumvirate because Wickham can play on that left wing. So I decided to give him a shot in that left wing spot, push Oxlade-Chamberlain from the wing back into central attacking midfield, and then giving Grenier a break because of that. So it's a bit of a mishmash team in terms of the way we're setting up compared to before. But Oxlade-Chamberlain showed he can score! No. It looked like a goal. Ball actually comes off of Daniel Sturridge's leg and goes in the back of the net. But, of course, it hits Sturridge while he's standing in an offside position. Just barely, ever so slightly. But it hits him and goes in the back of the net. So it's no goal. And that's really disappointing. But Crystal Palace then looking to come back the other way with a good chance. And ball in. It comes off the crossbar, thankfully for us. De Gea looked like he had it covered, but it goes over the top of his outstretched palms and not in the back of the net. Another good chance here is Oxlade-Chamberlain is brutally taken out by Scott Dan. I dribbled into traffic here because I wanted the free kick because Sturridge didn't look like he'd be scoring. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, look at him get in the face of Scott Dan. Love the feistiness on our young midfielder. He's showing some really good talent, the former Moose's Mighty Hammer winner. And that means Javier Pastore gets a stand over the ball from 20 yards. Can he put it in? Javier Pastore into the back of the net. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Oh my word, when the ball hits the back of the Upton Park net, that's Pastore. What a strike from Javier Pastore. Lovely finish from the Argentine. He gets it up and down over the wall with so much power. Past the goalkeeper, Lewis Price, who you remember if you were there for that live stream we did in the January transfer window. We did flirt with him ever so slightly before deciding on bringing on David De Gea to the club. But Javier Pastore shows off that class, why he played at Paris Saint-Germain, why he's helping West Ham United to a possible Barclays Premier League title. Beautiful goal from him. It's only his second of the year. Like I say, it's been a bit underwhelming for the first probably 20 or so games, but he has really been picking up as of late, and he creates another lovely chance. Flicks back past the defender into Daniel Sturridge. His shot is saved by Price, and the rebound he heads just wide of the goal and out for a corner, actually. But we continue to press forward. Sturridge in through on goal with a beautiful pass from Connor Wickham. He lays it off to Dybala. That attacking trio doing very, very well. But Dybala's strike is deflected over the goal, and we will win a corner from that. Pastore would be the man to take it. Can he possibly whip a ball in and give us one more beautiful chance? Pastore floats it in, looking for Kiyate. Kiyate with a power header. Cheikhou Kiyate, the Senegalese powerhouse in defensive midfield, with a bullet header. He gets his noggin on it, and he just wills it into the back of the net. Beautiful strike. Well, it's not so much a strike, but a beautiful header there into the netting. Nothing Price could do. He stands there rooted to the ground as Kiyate smashes the ball into the back of the net to give us a 2-0 advantage in the 44th minute, and we are rocking and rolling. It's well deserved, you have to say. Obita then plays in Paulo Dybala here as he tries to get past the defenders. Lovely bit of skill, 2 pieces of skill. Roulette comes in, beats another defender, and the finish is the most woeful part of that attack, but some lovely skills from Paulo. Step overs into a roulette and nearly puts the ball in the back of net. Kiyate looking for his second as he skims a shot past the outstretched arms of Price and not into the back of the net, unfortunately. But Crystal Palace the other way. Bolassi's header, their first real chance to test David De Gea, and he is awake and alive to make the first save. But, oh my goodness, the following corner after that De Gea save, you know, he just seemed like he wanted to do a bit too much. De Gea comes out to punch in. Instead, it hits him right in the head and into the back of the net. So that is using your head in the exact wrong way as we're talking about. So Crystal Palace with a near chance to come back into the game, but we almost make it 3-1. Ball cleared off the line in the 70th minute. And Crystal Palace ranging forward here in the 72nd minute. Dwight Gales come on substitute, plays into Ward. Ward takes a shot. De Gea with a lovely save, and we do manage to clear the ball away. Oxlade-Chamberlain gets it forward to Paulo Dybala, and that would be all she wrote. The referee, we would make it to the full-time whistle and finish off a 2-1 nail-biting victory, you had to say, but we did hold steady and not allow Crystal Palace any chances late on in the game. And, I mean, 17 shots to their 5, 60% possession, essentially. It's a well-deserved victory. Man of the match, FIFA's man of the match, and mine as well. 3 Moose's Mighty Hammer points goes to Javier Pastore for a dominant performance in midfield. He was phenomenal. 2 points then goes to Cheku Kiyate, the goal scorer of our second goal. And 1 point I thought had to go to Carl Jenkinson, who was very, very solid in the back line. He is slowly conjuring up points. Oh my goodness, he might have a run-in for Moose's Mighty Hammer this year. Carl Jenkinson, fantastic this season. He's really had a breakout season, you have to say, and it's allowed him to rack up the points. You know, maybe not 3 points every game, but he's getting 2, he's getting 1 here and there, and it's doing very, very well. We take a look at the U squad as we're just 1 month away from that May update, and we'll really see how the players are getting on. But we come up and do a game against Hull City, and I've decided, you know what, let's rotate the team here. We're going 3 center backs, 3-4-1-2. We've played 3 at the back against Hull City before, and I'm thinking, you know what? Let's mix it up. I want to go out and try and smash them, continue our run, smash and grab away at the KC Stadium, and allow us to really put a stranglehold on that title race, as we're 8 points clear of Manchester City, but they do have a game in hand, so they could get as close as 5 points if they are able to win that game in hand. So Hull City trying to come out. They have former Hammer Mohamed Diame, some good players there, Livermore, Tom Ince, Sagbo, Hernandez up top, Jakupovic, who's glitched in goal, so we're going to have to go up against a really, really solid goalkeeper. And, of course, they are playing 4 at the back, so we'll see how we're able to cope with that defense as we come forward in attack. For us, 3-4-1-2. Tompkins getting a start finally back into the lineup. Dybala's going to play as like a right winger, wing back. Oxlade-Chamberlain the same role on the left side, whereas Pastore and Kiyate will link up in midfield yet again. Grenier comes back in at cam, and Sturridge and Wickham getting another chance to shine up top. Dybala, beautiful roulette here at the early start of the game. He comes forward with so much pace, plays in Wickham, through to Sturridge. He strikes it, but he's just offside. You can see the referee had the flag raised. That would have been a dynamite start to the game, but it was not to be, and Hull City used it to their advantage. They come back the other way. Sagbo flicks the ball. De Gea with a wonder save, but Abel Hernandez, Cain and Abel, you have to say, comes forward, puts the ball in the back, and he's a poacher is what you have to say about that one. That first save by De Gea was unbelievable to even get a hand on it, but then Hernandez leaves De Gea with no chance. You see Marquinhos and De Gea both scramble back onto the line, but they're not able to make it back in time, and Hernandez does give Hull a 1-0 lead. And then Diame into Hernandez yet again. He takes on the ball, and he beats De Gea at his near post, and it's a shock lead for Hull City out of nowhere. Side that's, you know, just floundered around in mid-table. They're not in any danger of relegation. They're not in any danger of really challenging for a European spot either. So they're just playing for pride at this moment in time and trying to really stunt our campaign for the Barclays Premier League title, and they're doing a wonderful job. Another really good chance is De Gea just watches the ball soar over his crossbar before we're unable to really make any kind of inroads on this Hull City defense. The ball with a beautiful piece of skill to get around, and Tunes flicks it into Pastore. His header loops up and over Jakupovic, but not into the back of the net. And it really hasn't, we haven't tested the goalkeeper at all. Oxlade-Chamberlain with a great switch out wide to Dybala, who chests it down in the 43rd minute. Flicks inside of a defender, finds Connor Wickham, hits the ball, but it's really just a scuffed right-footed shot that skims across the face of goal and doesn't trouble Jakubovic yet again. Another chance as Sturridge finally gets something onto the Hull City goal, but Jakubovic very, very comfortable in that. And basically, we allowed Hull City to take a 2-goal lead, and then they just said, we're gonna hang on and cinch 3 points up in the bag here. They really just sat back, and didn't give us any chances. But Nkulu coming forward finds Connor Wickham, and he says, you know what, I want to do it myself. Great little body feint and skill to get inside of Curtis Davies. Any fake shots to beat him back the other way, and he's finished it. Connor Wickham, lovely finish from the former Sunderland man. He's hit top form here in this second half of the season. That's a beautiful goal. It actually puts him level with Paulo Dybala for the team lead in goals in the Premier League this season. Not overall goals, but the team lead in the Premier League. They're now both joint on 12. Beautiful finish from Wickham, and it's nice to see that he's shown that he can create for himself as well. That's the real trademark that Dybala has in our team, is he has that pace, that trickery, that he can compete for himself, and then that. Just nonsense. That's FIFA garbage is what it is. Look at this headed pass. They are playing the ball around on their heads as if they're playing it with their feet, is what Hull City's doing. They flick it in. Look at this. We cleared away. And it's headed straight back onto the noggin of Abel Hernandez, and he puts it in the back of the goal. It's ridiculous how they're able to finish that off, and it looks like that's going to be it. Hull City with a 2-goal cushion yet again. One final chance as Wickham strikes off the bar, and Hull City are able to clear up the danger, and that would be it. So it's a disappointing loss. I mean, it's away from home, so Hull defended well. You have to give them credit that they were very strong on the counterattack and made the most of their opportunities, but it's a really tough pill to swallow. Dybala was my man of the match. He was the best rated player from FIFA as well. I thought he was very, very good in attack. 2 points for Connor Wickham, our goal scorer, and 1 point for Oxlade-Chamberlain, who thought it was all right in the midfield once he came on. And that's really all that needs to be said about that game. And following the game, Fabian Delph said he's been speaking with his agent. He hasn't been getting the correct role at the club. Are you kidding me? Fine, Fabian. You want to leave? You want to go to a different club? Maybe go to Man City after we have made you, Fabian. You don't come to me with that kind of nonsense. He's been phenomenal. He doesn't start for 2 games in a row because I wanted to give Kouyaté a run out, and I thought Kouyaté had played well. So he gives me that kind of stick. I don't want to hear it, Fabian. We'll get you back in the team for this next game, but you better prove why you're supposed to be there, because I don't want to hear any kind of stick from you. We don't trust your loyalty necessarily around here. But Fabian Delph comes to me, and then Connor Wickham says he wants to discuss his wages. That's fair. You know, I think Connor's been doing very, very well. We're going to wait and see, though. I don't want to give him that wage bump just yet. We're going to wait till towards the end of the season. I think we'll see what players deserve that wage bump, and we'll give it to him. And Aaron Cresswell says, you know what, I'm ready to go. I'm raring to go. He's been out of the lineup for 2 months, and he says, you know what, I could get re-injured. He hurt his elbow. He's got the little plaster, the Band-Aid on him, but he wants to get back in the team, and you know what, we're going to give him that chance. So we've mixed up the lineup here. Pastore comes back in at cam. He's going to play in that number 10 role, which I think suits him very well because it gets him a bit more on the attack. He has that attacking class, and I want to get him in that role. Rabiot will come back into the midfield as well against Newcastle United, and they are struggling right now. They're one of the teams battling relegation. I actually had someone request to see the relegation battles, the top scores, what have you. We'll do that at the start of episode 104. That will be right at the next episode, so stick around in that episode for that. It'll be right at the beginning. But you can see we've got Rafa back in the starting lineup, Rabiot back in the starting lineup, so we've mixed it up a bit. A couple of guys that really want to prove that they deserve to be in the team. Rafa has struggled throughout the season here, besides a couple of really notable games. A hat-trick he scored against Ajax. I think he had two or three against Ajax. He played very well in a couple of games. But other than that, he's been really, really lackluster. Rabiot has just been kept out by some fantastic performances from Kouyaté, from Delph, and the fact that we don't have a true holding midfielder. Because if we had a real holding midfielder, then Rabiot would be able to slot in alongside him as a deep-lying playmaker. But we don't have that right now. And we deserved a penalty there. Rafa comes in, he's bundled over. He doesn't win us a penalty, but we will win a penalty right here. Aaron Cresswell taken down by Jamal Lascelles. The referee points to the spot, and second bite of the cherry here, Daniel Sturridge comes up looking to slot the ball away. He stares down Tim Krul, the Dutch goalkeeper, comes forward, and it's a beautiful penalty just on the underside of the bar. It's a great finish from the former Liverpool and Chelsea striker. Wonderful finish, and he has been revitalized. I'll tell you what, he's come back to London from Merseyside, and he has just been putting the ball in the back of the net. 17 games for Liverpool, and he only scored 2 goals. He's now come to West Ham, played probably under 10 games, I want to say. Maybe 10 if we're even at that point yet. And he's got 7 goals for us. He's been phenomenal. 9 goals now in the Premier League for Sturridge after coming back to London, to West Ham, with just 2, and he's been in sensational form. But Newcastle say, anything you can do, we can do better, because they'll score a goal. Check Tiote with a lovely strike to beat De Gea. Nothing he could do there. It's taken out the far post, and that's Aaron Cresswell, shaking that rust off, because the ball's played to the back post. Cresswell gets beaten by CM de Jong. They find Tiote, and that's a lovely finish on the turn. But Cresswell, he helps us offensively. He's looked very, very good coming forward. You saw, to win the penalty, but just not available defensively. So he's got to mix up. But we come back with a little bit of ticky-tacky toe passing, and Paulo Dybala finished it 2-1. He says, Connor, you think you can join me at the top of the West Ham scoring charts? No. That's all mine, son. Taking that with me. He wants the West Ham Golden Boot, because that's a lovely finish. Well worked. And you know who got the assist on that? Fabian Delph. Beautiful from him to show me that he should be in the team, and that's a lovely threaded pass into Paulo Dybala. And he's cool, calm, he's collected, puts it in the back, and he's cool as the other side of the pillow in slotting that past Tim Krul. Beautiful finish. 13 goals now in the Premier League for Dybala. But Newcastle, they say, we deserve a penalty. Let's just go back and forth and back and forth. It's an absolute roller coaster, seesaw of a game. And Kulu, it's a soft penalty, I have to say. De Jong went down really easily, but Kulu does pick up a yellow, and that means David De Gea is going to have to stare down Eduardo Vargas. He comes forward, the Chilean, trying to take on the former United keeper. It's a standoff here. De Gea, can he go the right way? He stopped it, David! Yes, son! Beautiful save from David De Gea, and Moose goes wild on the touchline with a wonderful save from his keeper. He's had a very tumultuous career at West Ham United since coming over. A few goals that you could say he's been blamed for, but he's made some heroic saves. Just like that does David De Gea. It's a wonder save from the keeper, and thankfully West Ham United do retain that 1-goal lead and prevent Newcastle United from getting on level terms. Cresswell then with a beautiful switch out wide to Paulo Dybala, playing in that right wing position that he's really favored this season. He scored 13 goals, most of the time playing as a right winger as opposed to a striker, especially since Daniel Sturridge has joined the club. So it's nice to see Dybala really finding a role that he can shine and gets West Ham's best players on the pitch at the same time. Delph with a rocket that nearly beats Tim Krul. Dybala then turns back inside, looks for Fabian Delph again, but the pass is a bit errant, and West Ham aren't able to score. Newcastle trying to come back, and this is FIFA nonsense yet again. Clear the ball. Just clear the ball out. If I wasn't able to get this ball clear, I was going to freak out. Another block here. One last time, and Kulu whip it away. It's hit a defender again, and finally Carl Jenkinson gets it away. One final chance now. Eduardo Vargas on the ball. Strikes it from range. Beautiful block. Again with the strike. It's come just off the side netting and wide of the goal. Marquinhos doing very, very well. Wonderful signing. And that's it. 3 huge points and a wonderful way to rebound after a horrible loss to Hull City. A wonderful victory. 2 home victories and 6 points. Well deserved in this game. Man of the match on his return had to be our superstar, Aaron Cresswell, the real talisman. I'd have to say the player of this career mode if I have to say it myself. Well deserved, very balanced game, but a beautiful performance. Cresswell 3 points. Fabian Delph on his return to the starting line. He's shown he deserves to be in there, as he was my second Moose is my hammer of the game. Gets 2 points and 1 point to Daniel Sturridge. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. 3 games. Let me know if you appreciate me putting 3 games in the episode, because I want to get towards the end of the season here and really get things kicking off. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in episode 104, guys. Bye-bye.